Security operatives raid NLC secretariat in Abuja. Labor union kicks. Can you imagine? So amid this hunger protest in Nigeria, the security operatives are still hunting down on the people supposedly sponsoring the protest. This is a very bad way of running a democracy in a country like Nigeria. I'm telling you. So now the security operatives, of course, they must be police, DSS, and all of them must have gone to the NLC secretariat in Abuja to raid it, a very forceful, brutal raid, and now labor union kicks. So the Nigerian Labour Congress has confirmed that its national office in Abuja was invaded by security operatives believed to be from the Department of State Security's DSS and the Nigerian Police Force on Wednesday night. Why? So according to a statement by NLC spokesperson Benson Okpa, late on Wednesday, the operatives arrested the security guards, forcing them to hand over keys to the offices on the second floor. So the operatives then broke into the floor, ransacked the bookshops, and stole hundreds of books and publications. So the NLC condemned the invasion, stating that it was illegal and a violation of democratic principles. Very bad. So the organization demanded an international inquiry into the incident and the return of the stolen materials. So the invasion occurred just hours after the NLC National Executive Council meeting where members condemned the high-handed manner in which security agents handled protesters during the #EndBadGovernance protest. Can you imagine? So shortly after, they went to raid their office. So the NLC had directed its staff to stay away from the office until further notice and warned that if the harassment continues, it may call on its members to stay home until their safety and security are assured. So the statement reads, this evening at about 8:30 p.m., long after the close of work, a troop of heavily armed security operatives invaded the Labour House, Central Business District, Abuja, which serves as the national headquarters and secretariat of the Nigerian Labour Congress. So the security operatives, some from the Nigerian Police Force, some wearing black T-shirts, presumably from the Department of State Services, DSS, and others on outright motive swooped on the 10th floor of the NLC and arrested the security operative on duty and then commanded him to the second floor where he was asked to produce the keys to the offices. So when he told them that he had no keys, no such keys on him, they broke into the floor and ransacked the bookshops on the second floor, cutting away hundreds of books and other publications. The invading troops claimed that they were looking for seditious materials used for the #EndBadGovernance protest. Can you imagine? So the Nigerian Labour Congress condemned in its entirety this new law in security operations in Nigeria. The armed security operatives showed no legal document permitting them to invade the premises of the Nigerian Labour Congress in the ungodly hours of the night. Even in the dark days of military rule, NLC secretariats were never invaded and ransacked by security agents. Today is indeed a very sad day for our democracy. Of course, can you imagine? So now, because they're looking for documents and materials that must have been used for the #EndBadGovernance in Nigeria, they had to invade the NLC office. So so do we call it democracy or aristocracy or autocracy or authoritarianism or militocracy? How do we qualify this kind of government that we are in? Even Buhari, that was an ex-general, that was the president, this kind of thing didn't happen like this. So why is this happening under Tinubu like this? So now people are blaming Tinubu and some government officials under Buratai, chief of army staff, for the NSAS massacre in Lagos during the 2020 October NSAS protest at Lekki Toll Gate, and are denying it. Okay, look at what is happening under Tinubu now. Rather than finding a better way of resolving the people's grievances, Tinubu government is now using force, militarized everywhere, to stop the protest. But it's just the beginning of the wahala. It's not going to end like that. So the earlier they know that this thing is not going to end the way they think, the better, because the way they are behaving now like dictators. They are already dictators on Mufti, and that's bad. Okay, and some people will now come and defend the government. So it's a good one. When you sell your dignity for a morsel of bread, such would be your reward. These guys handle the new minimum wage strike stupidly. Abi, exactly was my point in different ways. And because they handled the minimum wage issue stupidly, government is right to invade their offices like armed robbers and cut away valuable materials. Doesn't make sense. By this action, government is debasing itself, of course. Even if you bribe them and you use them and you got what you wanted, is that enough for you to harass them? It is not. Absolutely not enough to harass them. Government of the Agberos, by the Agberos and for the Agberos. What else do you expect? Exactly. This is exactly what we're saying when we say don't vote APC. People didn't want to hear. This is a pure dictatorship. Military style of commando rules is good. Let nobody talk. God has vindicated the Igbos. Okay? We will have 7 years to go. We still have 7 years to go. And that is it. The search is on the order of the dictator president. Now Nigerians can see the type of leader that we have. A dictator. Exactly. Tinubu's dictatorship is even worse than military. Quite unfortunate. Also, Nigerians can see how NLC sold themselves cheaply to the same government they thought they could trust. It's a shame, or it is a shame, that this is happening under Tinubu, okay, under Tinubu's watch, and he called it democracy. It is not democracy. I must say the truth. This is not democracy. Like a prophet, I told us here only yesterday morning that NLC and TUC that seem to be smiling and riding on the back of the tiger Emiloko with their 70,000 naira per month minimum wage would soon end up in the stomach of the tiger. See now, before 9 p.m. last night, the deal had started. They are gone past the mouth on their way to the tiger's stomach. Others that are also riding on its back, like traditional rulers, youth leaders at different levels, student union leaders, professional union leaders, ethnic union leaders, etc. will soon follow suit. The now NLC is not serious and I don't trust them. It's not that, it's not the issue. Government is behaving in a dictatorial manner now. That is how bad it is. Even during Babangida and Abacha time, I don't think some of the things happening now happened that time. How does cutting away books and documents translate to stealing books, etc.? Can't the NLC stop playing to the gallery? Why details of the security agency's action emerge? In any case, the NLC and its offices are not above the law of the land. Can you imagine what this one is saying now? Why do you have to raid such office at that hour? Niger matter, if he not touch you, you not know, you know they know, or the day. They should help us to raid Sambisa Forest, for where they not go near that area. They will never go near that area. So thank you for listening. Let's have a comment as NLC had kicked against this attack on their offices.